Good evening, Owlet community. I am CopiousGibles here to bring you the play-by-play casting today. I have Acrinator with me on the color casting. We got Joey on production for tonight, as we have our last game of this evening between the Meow Legion and Monarchy. How are you feeling tonight, Acrinator?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm looking forward to some good games of Overwatch here. Both of these teams have a lot to prove looking at the schedule they've had thus far. Both teams are looking for their first win. Actually, I believe it's Monarchy is looking for their first map win on top of that. Yeah, sure enough. So both these teams have a lot to prove. Can only go up from here for one of them.
These teams have a lot in common, including both of them come from the Altitude Esports mock Overwatch League, where they are known as the Rome Legion and Paris Monarchy. Fun league. You can come check us out, Altitude Esports. We got a lot of games going on as well if you're ever in need of something to watch or another place to play. But here in Owlet, it's a fresh start for both these teams, so we'll see what they do here on Lijiang.
Interestingly enough, they're both going for the double bubble or the APAC dive, whatever you like to call it. Actually, no, Casey swapping over to the Reinhardt. A little bit of a off-meta composition. Both teams jumping on the point.
Monarchy using the teleporter strat to take control of the point quickly, as Legion's on the outside here looking to find a way in. As you got Misled Elf working on the side on that Tracer, you're going for the duel in the back line, just picking pace out now. Lap's forced out, and Kartik picking up the first pick onto Leapfrog on that Lucio. And that's the hard engage that Legion needs, the opening as they push in here without that Lucio. The nasty anti onto that Reinhardt in KC, and Kartik picking up as the second support of that fight without any healing available now. The Monarchy begins to fall.
Ooh, the entire kill feed just bleeding blue right there. Or burning blue rather, depending on if you like the tier 1 scene. Rather interesting to see that Meow Legion didn't really opt to play the Symmetra that's so popular nowadays, and they still took the point rather well. They took their time, waited for a good opportunity and just found a good pick and went on from there. Momentum really went in their favor. Already you have Misled Elf almost to her Pulse Bomb. Omega has their Nano Boost practically, and already the fight's starting once again.
Yep, but Nano onto Hudson on that Winston, doing all that extra damage with the cleave, and that's Casey and Leapfrog falling so quickly to it. Both balls being forced out early as well. You see all the Ana assists in the kill feed from that Nano.
Yeah, sure enough, and Swanky Pan's getting quite a few of the final blows there in the kill feed. A high charge Zarya is not anything to scoff at, especially when Swanky is on top of their game. As much as he is tonight, his tracking is on point. Almost to that Graviton Surge, and actually the majority of Legion are just about to their ultimates as well, aside from Omega, who obviously used the Nano Boost there. Monarchy a little bit behind.
Casey jumping in onto the Misled, already picking one with the stick into the backline, and Casey punished without his team there to support him. As Hudson just taking that space on the high ground, pushing, Primaling comes out just to push them back, bullying that Ana to the corner, but Fuji wins the 1v1 against Misled. Kartik coming in to avenge his fellow DPS at the very end. But that's a little bit of an opening here for Monarchy. They can try and take this opportunity to push in. Hudson up on the high ground, the grab comes out, trapping the tank line up in that corner. They're able to follow up on it, that could be a good start of the fight, but losing Kartik, there's less available. Monarchy are down their brig though, so they can't push in quite as aggressively as they want to. The Nano Boost from Omega comes out once again. Both Nanos from both sides, the Monkey's antied up, jumping to point, just trying to make it there in time. And the Rally's out as well to match him there. See Hudson falls, gets caught out there, both Monkeys going down. Without Omega on that Ana, there's less heals available to the Legion right now. But looking to make it up for it with the extra free. Graviton's out, Kartik sleeping on the point, and one by one the Legion begins to fall. Hudson's back, it's just the Echo and the Monkey on point, trying to win that 2v4, but one by one, they're falling, and it's slowly going over to the Monarchy.
Actually, you see a little bit of a composition swap here from Monarchy. They go from that double bubble, oh, beautiful from Tepper there. They go over towards the sort of the other meta composition at the moment, which is this Wrecking Ball Zarya brawl almost. Casey was having a little bit of difficulty finding too much value on the Winston there. He was diving in as opposed to using his jump pack to disengage. Already you have the engagement coming in once again. Casey just causing a ruckus in the backline.
A nasty anti coming out from Omega, but they're not quite there with follow-up. Misled picking up one, but not before the Ana and Winston for the side of the Legion can fall. But they're still in this fight. Kartik falling as well is going to make it hard for them to win. Misled just trying to backcap it there on that Tracer. But Monarchy is there to chase him out. And that will be Legion heading back to this spawn once more.
Yeah, looks like a little bit of a soft disengage. Just Swanky still wants some pills.
He picks up one but pays up for it with his life. But that might be what they need here. But a nasty anti coming out from Kageyama.
Oh,
Force the high noon. Dr. Tepper using his high noon but pushed back well out of line of sight of anything. And Hudson manages to find the Ana with that primal rage. As they're pushing onto the point, the Graviton comes out but it finds nothing. Casey antied up but with plenty of HP to make it less. Even as supports fall from both sides, Hudson picking up 2.
They need to get on point.
Casey manages to move the Winston off the map. That jump pack not available. He's on the point here. The Graviton's out, but it doesn't quite find anything. As Fuji's picking up more and more. And even though Legion managed to secure that cap there, Monarchy brings it back.
That was rather sneaky there from Misled Elp. He did find the back cap in the backline, which created an entire array of hectic sub-fights going on around the point as everyone was desperately trying to finish out the fight there. A lot of ultimates used. Eventually, they managed to secure it once again for Monarchy. They're not out of this quite yet. It's probably going to go the distance all the way to 99 to 100.
Yep. Not the best Gravitons coming out in that fight, but we have the copy and the Nano Boost coming out now from the Legion as they go in. Kageyama in danger as he gets stunned up, and it's the Rig and the Kree that fall. Kartik and Hudson picking up the kills. The minefield's out, all the ultimates coming out onto this point, focusing that, melting down both tanks for the Monarchy here. Pulse Bomb comes out, Kageyama manages to take down Kartik on that Echo. The deadly Lucio. But he's slept up and falling on the point. It's just a desperate stall coming out from the side of the Monarchy. There's a rally up on point, but it's still 4 people against 1 Brig. And that Brig can't live forever. It's just a desperate stall as the point is slowly slipping over to Legion's favor. But Monarchy still fighting this. There's another nasty anti coming out from Omega to bring down Dark that much faster on that Winston. And it's just Kageyama, just Casey left on that ball. As overtime slowly beginning to burn down, and as I say that, once again, Fuji's back on that Tracer. 3 calls, and in that brief second, overtime runs out.
That was a hectic round for going almost 100 to 0. Monarchy really managed to bring that back. Interesting that they felt and they looked so much more comfortable on this Wrecking Ball Zarya composition. Maybe they wanted to try and make the double bubble work, the Winston Zarya, but the Wrecking Ball just seemed so much more in Casey's favor. He was getting a lot more value with his job being to disrupt rather than to walk in and sort of jump away to regain health. That's a very difficult thing to shake as a Winston playing dive for so many years.
Yes, for sure. As looking a lot more confident on that Wrecking Ball comp, but not quite able to close it out. But holding up to 100%, definitely no small feat. As both teams will be running the brawl here on the control center. Starting that fight off in the... Fuji actually picks up the first kill by catching out Misled Elf on that Symmetra. And with that, that's going to be the lamp out from the side of Legion as well. Forced to play a lot more passively here, without that extra DPS, that extra shield building Symmetra can provide. And the Monarchy has control of the point, and Fuji picks up a second kill, bringing down that Reinhardt. That will be forcing Legion all the way back into their spawn. Even as Kree manages to pick up that exit pick onto the Junkrat.
That actually might be crucial for Legion to recontest a little bit earlier than they might have otherwise, now that they don't have the area denial from Fuji coming in. Already they want to press the go button here.
Already a window coming out from Omega on that Baptiste. That'll be the opening they need to just walk through here, forcing Monarchy to back away from that double damage. And taking this fight by the point, the Sim Wall and the Coalescence coming out from the side of Monarchy, a tire as well, all the ultimates coming out, and that will be more than enough to send Legion packing.
3 ultimates used, 6 men down, all in favor of Monarchy there. I'd say that's a fair trade as they get to keep the point for at least a little bit longer, while they will have to worry a little bit about the tire from Kartik coming online soon. Well, just as I say it.
Comes online and instantly uses it, and he finds 3! A massive tire, that's all the opening they need to come into this fight. It's just walking onto point at this point.
I've never seen that before. He teleported the tire. I've seen Diva Bombs, but that was 900 IQ from Kartik. That's That's a
No,
beautiful amount of coordination.
I actually missed that. I didn't realize you could teleport Riptire. That's
Well,
definitely
now you know.
a really nice play coming out from Meow Legion.
Yeah, especially because their ult economy is about even. They have about the same amount of ultimates as Monarchy coming in, so it's really anyone's guess as to who might win, although Fuji is coming up onto that Riptire, which might as well guarantee at least one kill unless they play their cards really well, but...
Well, if you catch out the Riptire early. But yeah, that early pick is what they need. No Junkrat, no spam, not nearly as much spam coming in. They're letting Monarchy have this outside space, just playing back, keeping control of this server room for now. As Monarchy waiting for Fuji to rejoin them.
Just a little bit of a soft disengage, and actually be rotating around to the high ground. Yeah, it looks like they're going straight all the way up to the very top here.
There's the Graviton and Fuji jumping in it. They have the beat, but will it be enough to keep them alive? A counter grab coming out from the side of Meow Legion. This trades back and forth. A shatter from Hudson knocks all of Monarchy to the ground. And it's just the Symmetra left on the point. Trades going everywhere, but they didn't quite have that Riptire online to combo with the Grav there.
Yeah, and I think that might have been the win condition there. If they could have waited just a little bit longer, Dark had a little bit more patience, they might have been able to get a 4K or whatever already. Yeah, Legion does not want to give up this choke point anymore. They're ready to hold here for the rest of the map. Although Fuji and Kartik both have their tires, so it might come into whoever uses it first.
Casey falls first though, and without that Reinhardt, they're gonna have a hard time pushing in. Even with that coalescence from the Moira, they're sent back. Casey falling incredibly quickly, they're just melted down.
It's worth noting that Legion didn't have to use any ultimates there against the Coalescence. They just won that with good old-fashioned vanilla Overwatch. They have a lot to work with here.
And now they have the Coalescence coming out. There's the tire again, but Casey instantly catching it with a Fire Strike. Still, they fall, and with 3 down, it's an overtime burning out. Kageyama not quite able to make it to that point, and that's the first point going over to the Meow Legion.
Definitely signs of brilliance from both teams. I really enjoyed the teleporting. Oh, please tell me this is it.
It has to be it.
Yep, this is it. This was... I didn't even know you could do this. Oh.
And from the looks of it, neither did Monarchy.
I don't know if anyone knew you could do that. I wonder if that's something they practiced or if they're just like, hey, let's try something on the fly. Regardless, it worked.
Yeah. Definitely a really nice play coming out there. That's a good way to get a guaranteed Riptire kills.
Yeah, that's for sure. A little bit faster on the trigger finger than a Diva Bomb per se. It's less predictable when it'll explode.
You gotta get this. You gotta get like that timed Diva Bomb where you place the teleporter on it just as it detonates. You know.
Yeah, perfect timing. Similar with Bomb EMP. So anyways, I believe Monarchy will have the next map pick. It should be Escort, if I'm reading this correctly, which would be Rialto Route 66 or Watchpoint Gibraltar. I have no clue what Monarchy might want in regards to their comfort picks.
Nor do I. I'm going to assume it's not Gibraltar, as that's the only one of those maps that has not been in an altitude pool, so it's probably the least practice out of the 3.
Yeah, good point.
Depending on how much research they've done into Legion's players, maybe they'll go Rialto. We have some players with a bit of a history of that map, but not a very pleasant one.
Possibly, especially with Casey showing a little bit of difficulty on the Winston. Gibraltar might not be the best map unless they go a full traditional dive, but that's not exactly the popular play at the moment. It's more of the compositions that we've been seeing, minus the Reinhardt on Control Center, because Control Center is special.
Control Center is it's always that role map, even no matter the meta. It makes it fun when you've got like double shield or constant ball meta going on.
Yeah, definitely. At the very least, we've had a few shakeups in the meta recently with the nerfs to Zenyatta and the Echo and Tracer. So seeing a little bit less of those, a little bit more experimentation at the very least in terms of like supports, DPS. The tanks are mostly the same. We're seeing a rise of the double bubble, APAC dive, Zarya, Winston a bit more. But for the most part, where it's staying mostly stable. Looks like Rialto actually will be the map pick here. So
yes, I'm sure Rialto, the infamous ending where Misled Elf and Kartik of the Beijing Lions in last season altitude ended up losing the Grand Championship, so I don't think they'll be particularly happy to return here with that recent wound, but maybe this is their chance to redeem themselves here.
No time like the present, and there's always a good time to redeem yourself, I suppose. Looks like we will be having... The sides remain the same from last map, so it looks like, Legion will be on the defense, Monarchy on the offense. They'll have their first opportunity, Monarchy that is, to set the win condition, or the continue condition if they can manage to complete the entire map. Of course, Rialto is somewhat difficult to get all 3 points. Third point is unforgiving for the offense, but it's definitely possible. It just takes a little bit of coordination, which these teams have certainly shown at times.
Yes, both teams, as you said, running out that double bubble comp again. Monarchy opting to run that Ashe with the Mercy Pocket over the Echo Brig of the Legion's lineup. A little bit of a variation. We'll see if Tepper is able to pop off as that. Not quite able to do the one-shot headshot, but I believe it's 195 damage. Still nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, definitely. I will be also interested to see how Kartik deals with the Ashe, as despite being somewhat nerfed, she's still pretty good at shooting flying enemies out of the sky.
Yes, indeed. They'll be starting off just trading spam back and forth. Legion keeping control of the high ground. Kartik falls low, but if his healers are there to keep him up in time,
well.
just like anti. Oh, it won't be Kartik's problem to deal with Tepper on that Ashe, as Misled Elf already there to help him out.
Sure enough, he was taking a little bit of poke damage, but not enough to really force him out of his comfort zone.
Hudson jumping in onto the backline. They've got control of that high ground still, and Kageyama falls to the Winston there. Misled Elf putting in that extra damage they need. And Kartik picking off Stormgeek as well. The Resurrect comes through, and they catch out Misled as he tries to shut it down, but Leapfrog does pay for that res with his life. And Legion still has control of this point, picking up Dr. Tepper at the end with a whip shot, well-placed whip shot. It's gonna just close it out, so he can't picking up 2.
Taking down Casey there is rather crucial, as he had a decent amount of charge on the Zaryas, a lot of damage coming in. You don't want to let the high charge Zaryas get away, especially when you've won the fight. So that was good on Swanky and Hudson to capitalize on that. A few ultimates coming online, both pulse bombs. Omega is going to have the nano boost coming up whenever they feel like it. Hudson's going to have the primal rage as well, whereas the offense not quite there in terms of ult economy. They're a little bit behind.
Pulse Bomb comes out, Fuji not quite able to connect with it, as Monarchy making progress on this card. The nano comes through onto Hudson, into the backline he goes and finds the Brig, but Swanky falls in the process. But again, both supports down for Monarchy, and without that healing, it's one by one they're beginning to fall. Stormgeek managed to pick Kartik out of the sky, leaping up to meet him there with the Tesla cannon, and Hudson still just deep in there. He's got the healing long range from Ana, and with 3 alive, with both supports and that tank, they still have control of this space.
Yeah,
But,
they had a valiant effort, shall we say, from the tanks of Monarch.
2 monkeys now on the field from the Legion here. This...
Oh no!
2 monkeys on the field from the Legion. Poor Tepper nanoed up and not able to do anything but shoot at monkeys. But speaking of primals, there's a 3rd out there as Omega falls to Stormgeeks. Kartik picking up on one on Tepper as well. I've never seen so many angry monkeys in one place. As Stormgeek finally gets finished off. Fuji finding Cream with that pulse bomb. Without that Brig, it's a bit late in the fight to be able to capitalize on it now, but still a nice stick nonetheless.
Yeah, unfortunately you gotta worry that the defender will come back a lot sooner than the offense is ready to capitalize on that pick, especially using the pulse bomb like that. You're probably gonna wish you had that back if you're Fuji. But otherwise, you know, he's doing his best. He's trying to cause a ruckus in the back line. Not quite outmatching the Legion's offenses.
The grab comes out, there's 4 in it, a massive grab. Pulse bomb there, they don't even need it before they fall. And that's 4 down already. This is already Legion's fight. 2, they do manage to pick up 3. Fuji almost bringing them back into this, but...
He's still not dead, he's going to die soon, but...
He's making it out. But on that Mega manages to claim it. This is still Fuji just alone on his journey, and he's going to make it back, isn't he?
Huh. Usually you don't see that happen, but he certainly knows how to move. He ducked and weaved his way to survival there. Interestingly, if Monarchy hasn't really had the opportunity to use a lot of their ultimates before the fight's already broken out.
The grab from downtown catches 3. They have the high noon as well. The bubble coming in last second, saving his team from Hudson. And that'll be even this fight as Scream falls to Dr. Tepper. Fuji getting picked out earlier. Swanky gets the upper hand in the Zarya duel, and there's the copy as well. Dr. Tepper falling. They have that rally online though. Pulse Bomb catches out Leapfrog as he tries to dash away. There's the res, but overtime is burning down, and it's just McCree and Tracer on that point. And once again, Hud's 2 angry monkeys very briefly.
Fuji? Oh, couldn't make a miracle happen.
Fuji, despite his best efforts, can't bring it back for his team. But then again, both his tanks are back on this point. Stormgig primaling that angry monkey, 1000 HP fight there, just booping them back. He has that Lucio with him too, but the grab's out, trapping them both in place. And that should be enough for Legion to secure this defense.
Yeah, Rialto first. It's in the nightmares of many players, as it's so easy for the defense to first hold there, especially exactly where the cart ended up stopping, as the defense starts to get a little bit of a spawn advantage at the very end. So possible to hold, not gonna be easy. Legion are probably gonna be the favorites here based on how they've been playing, but you never know.
Yep, the Legion here not having much further to push, only having to get to the end of this first point, as we won't. It'll be difficult for Monarchy to hold this here, as you said. They do have that spawn advantage though, so it's certainly possible. It'll just take quite the feat and pull it off.
Are they really?
This
would be hilarious.
They're out of spawn. They're actually doing it.
Okay. Sometimes you have teams line up in a nice little row and jump off the bridge as a little ceremony, but that's not happening this time. They're sticking with this really old-fashioned not double
It's
shield.
not even double shield.
It's just bunker. it's just a Bastion bunker. Would have been Pirate Ship if they played it on attack. But yeah, interesting that on the offense, Monarchy had a little bit of difficulty playing together. Fuji was doing a lot of work, but he was also by himself, so there was a little left to capitalize on it. And this comp sort of forces them to play together, so maybe that'll take their weakness and turn it into a strength.
Well, we'll see how Legion chooses to adapt to this, as I'm sure this is something they're not prepared for. Just cowering behind that card, and just using that payload as natural cover there. Just cowering from this Bastion up on the high ground for the time being, not able to do much, but wait. As that hook at max range catches Swanky, but the heals come through, he's not able to quite get finished off, but Hudson melted down immediately as he goes in. And there's a massive anti, 3 purple from Omega, and that's the Bastion falling. Hanzo soon to follow, both DPS down.
Wow.
Yeah, the bunker just crumbles. Once again, another long-range hook, but that won't be enough there.
That anti-nade was the go sign for Misled Elf. You could see their ult charge is so high up already. They did so much damage. Interesting to see the Bastion bunker decided to drop as early as they did from the high ground. That's one of the largest advantages they had, and they didn't really utilize it as much as they should have. I don't know if anyone can touch at this point.
Both supports getting caught out early. Even if they can touch, they'll have a hard time surviving without the healing available. And the pulse bomb's out. Misled catching himself in the process of taking Stormgig down. he got two. But it's just the baby diva left to stall the cart. Leapfrog back at the last second on the Lucio. Both supports making it back to try and stall it out, but not able to do much more than delay the inevitable.
Yeah, Meow Legion's just playing this a lot better. They're playing patiently, they're waiting for opportunities like that beautiful anti-nade from Omega, and then just going in. Great play of the game. Not every day you see that.
I think it's just swinging.
Yep.
Swinging into Omega's anti, and yep, that's break.
Yep. Not much else he could do aside from maybe a max distance whip shot, but that's just styling on him at that point. You can see Hudson getting a insane kill streak there.
Yes.
24.
Not really. I can't remember him dying too often on that map, except getting caught out on that getting caught out by that Bastion bunker on the first attack.
Yeah, definitely. Ultimately, though, these teams are not playing bad. Neither one of them, you know. They're Monarchy, despite being down 2-0, they have an idea of what they want to do, and they're executing it sometimes, but they're just like faltering when things get rough, you know. And Meow Legion is capitalizing on that and finding opportunities like the anti-nade. And Misled Elf is doing a really good job of finding pulse bombs, sometimes on himself, but it still works.
A pulse bomb kills a pulse bomb kill, regardless of whose team you're actually killing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monarchy looking really solid at. They look much more solid when they're running that more meta composition, or especially with that like ball Zarya or even the double bubble, looking a lot more confident when they than compared to when they try to run that kind of off meta or cheese comps, I suppose you should call it.
Yeah. I don't know if that bunker was practiced or not. Probably not, as that's not the meta whatsoever, and they dropped far too early from the high ground to have any confidence in it. Looks like we may be going to Hollywood, is the early call I'm seeing in match chat. Rather interesting map. Might be able to see some off meta picks. I've seen Widowmaker in recent times, although Ashe is still meta, so I guess that's just an extension of that. Sniper play is always fun to watch. Oh, okay, well, I guess we're going.
Oh, we are going straight into Hollywood. Once again, we have Legion on the first defense here. Monarchy getting that first opportunity to attack, hoping to have it go a little better than it did on Rialto.
Yeah, well, fortunately for them, you know, Legion will never really have that spawn advantage on first point. On second point and third point, that's a different story. But first point, you know, you don't want to get first held on every single map. You know, of course, Monarchy's still looking for their first map win of this season of Owlet. So, this no good a time as the present.
Monarchy on an interesting comp right now, but they are still in their spawn, so I'm going to assume they're going to switch off that if they do want their first map win. As you know, I do like the niche comps, but I'm not sure that Bastion is the way to do it on Hollywood's first point attack.
Well, they're showing off some of their team synergy by playing jump rope. So, there's that. I have seen weirder spawn rituals. Some that look slightly more demonic than this, so this is a little bit more wholesome than what you might see. Although the timer is ticking down, Fuji apparently is Bastion main. Okay, okay.
It's a Sim Bastion. They're going for the teleporting bunker with a Rhine Diva. Not something you see every day, but well, it will definitely take Legion by surprise. Teleporting across, keeping their comp hidden as they stay out of view of Legion entirely by teleporting across that choke point.
I'm not entirely sure if Meow Legion will have anything in particular to deal with this, as they really just have a Tracer and a McCree, but when you have a Diva and a Reinhardt, girl!
They're up to the high ground, and they don't need anything to deal with it, they just have Omega's antis. The lamp's out already, but Fuji actually still set up on that high ground, able to melt down Kartik early, and Hudson getting caught out by the Diva on that opposite high ground. Maybe...
no.
Oh no. Fuji dropping to that point, and as the Baptiste and the Rhine fall, Leapfrog manages to find the res onto the Baptiste. Misled falling, and another massive anti-nade's already out from Omega. That's gonna bring them back into this fight. And second lap coming out from Kageyama. They're just trying to keep his team alive, but Hudson's back on the ball to help finish out these kills. Swanky with all the charge he could ever want, melting down these things. And Kartik as well, back on the legs now.
Oh no, Casey. There's nowhere to jump off.
Oh no.
He's at the mercy of the defense here. There we go.
They'll finally put him out of his misery.
Cream and Swanky Pants did not want to give up that point whatsoever, and it really showed as Swanky's almost to their Graviton Surge. And about a minute and a half into this push, they did get about a little bit shy of 50%, so they got some percentage points. Monarchy did, and they're sticking on this. They probably going for a different rotation here with the Bastion, sure enough, but they all get booped off.
Teleporting up to the high ground. They still have their Bastion set up there. You can't boop him while he's in that turret form. But Hudson manages to find the Symmetra, and once again, Omega antis 3. The lamp is there to keep them alive, but the Graviton's out. 4 trapped in it. Is there any follow-up? They got the Nano, but they took out Fuji, but Swanky's dead. And it's just the DPS in the backline. They're not touching point. Okay, they make it their last second to contest, but it's just misleading Kartik, and they're not able to stay on long enough, and the point goes over to Paris. Or Monarchy, as they're known here.
That is rather unfortunate, but what can you do? It's first point Hollywood. It's almost a given that you're going to give it up at some point. You just got to stall for as long as possible. And that was a decent stall.
It's quite the unorthodox fights. Omega
Yeah.
trying to make it out with his life and not quite able to do it. Dr. Tepper catching him out at the very end. As the sim shield wall comes out just to give them a little bit of extra protection. I'm not sure about that Valkyrie, but it's committed
They really
nonetheless.
love these kills.
They
They're
want
going to the spawn.
they want leaders in their spawn. There's a Diva Bomb in their spawn doors. Storm King falls, but the res is immediately there. Kartik manages to find Dr. Tepper, and Misled falling as well, too, losing that Tracer 1v1. And Legion just fighting to make it out. The Shatter comes through, they're all down. They're ulting into their spawn doors. This is just cruel. And
Champions rally to get out.
forcing the rally just to try and walk out. There's the post ball onto the bubble comes through from Swanky, saving his break at the last second. Storm Gigs falls. There's the tactical visor trying to just make it out into the open here. And that should be enough for them to finally make it back to this payload. Back to the open skies of Hollywood once more.
That was a disgusting amount of cart progress for what was essentially a giant meme that they just forced it to work. They're like, hey, we're already here. Might as well use all of our ults, just reset the ult economy. Force them to use, 3 ultimates to just get out of their spawn, the Primal Rage, the Attack Visor, and the Rally, all of which rather valuable. And now they're just holding up on high ground.
Yep, the Kartik managing to win the Soldier 1v1. As it's just Monarchy trying to push them off. Casey getting demeched. They're gonna have a hard time pushing in without that Diva. And once again, it looks like they're just going to leave poor Casey as a baby Diva running around without any mech, any of that actual useful utility that Diva provides.
Hey, the Bunny Blaster does a lot of damage if you can aim.
The Nano comes through onto Missile Alpha Nano Tracer in their team. Forces the recall early. Not been able to find anyone just yet. The Valkyrie's out to keep him from Leapfrog, to keep Monarchy healthy in this fight. And Legion still holding full control over this high ground. As Leapfrog manages to take down Break, the sleep comes through, but Fuji and Dr. Tepper are there to finish it off. And that will be Monarchy cleaning up the fight. It's just Kartik running back to his spawn, Fuji giving chase, and finishing him off at the very end.
Monarchy's looking rather comfortable on this map. I think they probably practiced this one with the amount of confidence and gusto they've given thus far.
They're definitely there's no lack of confidence for sure when you're going for a spawn hold like they did earlier. But we'll see the Misled winning out the Tracer 1v1 over on the right side there. As well, Monarchy just playing it a bit slow, taking the space on the cart as Legion push back in here. The grab comes out, just catching the Rhine. There's the tactical visor coming out from Tepper on the high ground. Kartik catching that Kageyama, Swanky falling to Fuji.
Oh.
But as the trades go back and forth, there is that spawn advantage for the Legion here. Dr. Tepper's still in their backline, but finally getting finished off now.
Yeah, there's only so much a lone soldier can do.
He is an army of one. But
as he's concerned, there is a decent amount of ult advantage in terms of the offense. Monarchy's going to have a decent amount to work with here, whereas the defense are still building up to theirs, so it's going to take a little while. As long as Monarchy can act quick, they probably have an advantage here.
Yep, they have a lot of ultimates to work with. We'll see how they're able to use them effectively. Pulse Bomb comes out early, doesn't quite catch anything. Fuji not quite managing to get the stick there. As Hudson melted down by Kageyama and Fuji. There's the break coming out from the rally coming out from Cream on that break. All the extra armor they could ever want. There's Casey's Diva Bomb. Not catches Omega actually. The honor going down. Pulse Bomb comes through from Misled, finishing off Stormgeek on that Reinhardt. And as Swanky's demeched, it's still anyone's fight. Hudson coming back with a close spawn, really benefiting them there. But Stormgeek resurrected. The Reinhardt brought back into this fight as Kageyama's Windows comes out. All the extra damage from the Valkyrie and the damage boost. This Dr. Tepper with the attack visor finishing off Swanky. Post bomb to catch out that break. And that's going to be the fight going. As I say that, Kartik managed to get the copy last second. The extra Diva on point, just there to stall. He's got that second life as the Echo still. They're coming back one by one, trying to stall at this point and burn them down to overtime if possible, but Monarchy still have the upper hand. Just a good display of target focus as they burst down the Legion members. It's just Hudson on that point on the ball. Baptiste trying to come in from above, but won't be able to quite make it in time.
Definitely a good effort from the defense there. Meow Legion got it down from, I believe, a minute 20 to about 38 seconds on the clock. Of course, not to the overtime, but all they need to do is just have a better attack, have more time, and they should be fine. Of course, this is not the easiest nor the hardest third point to capture in Overwatch, but, you know, in the middle.
Yep.
So.
They may not have gotten them to overtime, but they did get them under a minute. So even if they capture in overtime here, they will have that minute to attack a second time. If we do end up going to a second round here on Hollywood.
Yes, I'm sure Monarchy would absolutely love to just first hold these guys and give them a taste of their own medicine, you know, not allow them to get points on the board.
As
please don't tell me they're doing this again.
Please, they're walking out of spawn. They're doing it again.
Okay, well, I have to assume they practiced this one then, because they committed too heavily to it.
They're setting up on that top high ground there.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Me neither, but I'm just gonna be slightly optimistic and say I'll give them a chance. Fuji has the aim.
Not that Bastion needs it so much, but they'll be taking control of this top high ground here. Probably gonna have that teleporter being able to switch high grounds at will. As Fuji not quite on it, the Bastion gonna be resetting so he can just teleport back and forth. That's
I would be interested to see the offense's DPS and how they react to this Bastion if they decide to go for any swaps, as they have that liberty now.
I mean, Kartik just chucking in the sticky there gets 25% for free off that cluster of enemies. As Legion hesitating a bit, not quite sure what to do here, as Kartik just spamming down to put damage with the skies with that echo. Hudson jumps up onto them, and that's enough to knock the Monarchy off their high ground. Fuji working his way back up, but Misled manages to catch out the Symmetra, Dr. Tepper. The lamp is committed to bring back to pull off the resurrection, and Fuji in the staircase finds Hudson and Misled. And Kartik as the sentry. Alright.
It's my turn to have play of the game. Already about 80% to that tank form as well. That is a devastating amount of damage if he can get it off, although there's not an easy target on the side of Meow Legion, so let's see how he decides to use that, if he decides to use it, if he can even get it off, as Kartik has been putting a lot of poke damage in. But I get the feeling Meow Legion is thinking the same thing we were again with this, as it's so odd.
Yeah, Monarchy setting up in the staircase right now. Or Fuji actually teleporting across the other side. They managed to demec Casey, finding out that Diva on separate from the team, but
Oh no, I don't think they know where the Bastion is anymore.
I wouldn't know where the Bastion's down there either, as he's teleporting back and forth between that staircase and the back of point.
Oh,
there's the window as well.
This is just sadistic.
Omega jumping in to get the Omega gets two just jumping in. The kamikaze Ana.
You can't res yourself nor anyone else when you're dead, and the attack is taking that as the go signal.
Yes, that's a 2-for-1 trade with the Ana. Kartik copying the Baptiste for the extra healing to make up for it. And there's the Graviton out, catching the Reinhardt. Fuji finally pulling out that tank form, but not quite able to finish anything off there as he falls to Kartik. And the res manages to come through. The Valkyrie Mercy managing to pull Ryan back into the fight. Shatters out, but only Swanky goes down, and there's no one there to follow it up.
You know, sometimes reses are ill-advised, and in that case, I think Leapfrog just kind of fed however much health Reinhardt has, like 550, 600, somewhere around there, as ult charge to Meow Legion. So probably not the best advised resurrection there, unfortunately.
550 health and the Shatter and a Valkyrie, so Legion is pretty happy to take that, but puts it up on the high ground, primaling them down as Monarchy trying to set back up there. Kageyama falls to Kartik. Is Stormy just rushing in? It's a Nano Primal as well, but it's Kartik the one picking up all the kills. Leapfrog out with a pistol, goes for the res, maybe a bit ambitious with it, as not quite able to finish it off as he gets punished there.
It's actually a little tragic display there as Kageyama put down his lamp, his immortality shield, and then jumped out of it with the Echo Sticky Mines onto him, which led to his death. So unfortunate. I don't think he could have predicted that the mines would have been placed directly on him. Either way, you have both sides about equal in ultimates, but doesn't matter if Fuji does that.
Fuji catching out the cock on that Echo, that damage, that Mercy Pocky coming through. He finished off Misled. There's no DPS available for the side of the Legion here. And that without that, they'll be backing off. A little bit of a soft disengage coming out, especially as Cream Falls getting pinned by Stormgig on that Rhine. And yeah, they'll just be trying to make it back to the spawn, trying to get them out with a life. But Omega hits a nasty sleep onto Fuji. That'll be enough to bring him down. An opening take from Monarchy here. And as Kartik copies that Diva, the Resurrect comes through onto Fuji, but Casey gets demeched in the process. There's that copy Echo on the high ground with the Diva Bomb just to deny that space. Doesn't actually able to find anything, but Missled finishing off Casey before they can get back into the mech. And finding the Rhine and the Mercy, that'll be what they need to win this fight. Even with the window on the high ground, there's no one there to use it. Actually, Dr. Pepper finding Omega in the backline. With that long spawn, it's good to take out the Ana in this fight, even if it is just a late pick.
They should be able to no, they can't. Oh, that was a beautiful boop from Cream.
Yeah, the break denying Casey the ability to contest that point. Fortunately, Omega got long spawn has a bit of a long walk ahead of them, so they're still engaging just as hard. Anyways, the grab comes out, finds 3. The lamp's there though, they're not able to finish it off as the lamp finally breaks, but there's been enough time for Monarchy to get their health back. The Valkyrie as well coming back to keep them up in this fight as Legion just forced to back off here. There's the rally though coming out from Cream, and that's the aggression. The signal for the aggression coming out from the side of the Legion here, pushing in. Casey tugging in a Diva Bomb. There's a chatter in the backline. It doesn't quite find anyone. No one close enough to actually be finished off by it. Fuji copying the Tracer. An extra pulse bomb available. There's the attack pads from the high ground. That's what you have to watch out for as he finds Swanky. Cream getting melted down. Slowly falls, but Kageyama being traded. As it's still trades back and forth, a scrappy fight, but Monarchy slowly getting the upper hand thanks to that spawn advantage. As on that Monkey Diva able to dive in, but as soon as I say that, Mist finds 2. He's getting the DMech as well.
This is getting rather hectic here. I'm actually surprised that Legion's able to come back as fast as they did.
Legion able to pick up Kartik, picking up 3, and they're taking control of the spawn doors. It's they're getting close to the end of the map, and they're holding Monarchy in their spawn.
Oh, Fuji couldn't get out.
There's the copy coming through, then extra monkey just help the game, and Misled sticking Dr. Tepper, who's on backshin for some reason, and there's the grab in the spawn doors just to seal the deal, making sure they won't be able to make it in time to touch. Somebody touching at the very last second, 0.01 meters on the cart, but he slowly melted down, and that would be the cap for the Meow Legion.
Well, I said all they needed to do was cap with the faster time, and they did just that, so bravo to them. That was really weird offense, I'm gonna be honest. Neither side really ever gave up a fight. It was just kind of melding together.
All of that third point was just one very drawn out fight, swinging back and forth, but the Meow Legion eventually triumphing there.
Yeah, interesting. I want to say coordination. It looked purposeful, where they would like soft disengage but still poke, and then the rest of their team would come in and they just hard engage. And I don't think that Monarchy was fully expecting that, as they didn't have everyone back yet. They weren't really soft disengaging. They were almost hard engaging with the 3 versus they could win, and then all of a sudden it's 3 versus 6, and they slowly lose tempo, lose momentum, and eventually give up third point in a decent time bank.
Yep, with 2 minutes on the clock, they will be on the defense first once again. And it looks like, I don't want to be sure of it just yet, but it looks like Paris are running a bit more of a standard composition now.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to try the Bastion again. It's probably going to be expected by this point and adapted towards. Once again, doing a little jump rope ritual here, but Kree Tracer is going to be a lot more common. I would expect Tepper to have a decent amount of value here, especially against Kartik.
Yes, we got Misled hiding in the backline, probably waiting to see if there's a squishy he can catch out on that Tracer, but not making his move just yet as Monarchy slowly walking in through that choke. As now he's going into the backline, gets whip shot back. It's just taken back out of the fight. But Stormgate jumping in on the high ground. Dr. Tepper picks up 2, and Legion just crumbles. Monarchy finding all the kills they could want in that fight immediately.
Especially with such a small time bank coming into this push for them, only a minute. Taking first point here, or even the majority of first point, is absolutely massive. Even taking a tick is going immensely in their favor. I don't know if Legion even want to recommit here, if they just want to opt for a better second point defense. Yeah, sure.
Fuji going for that early kill on the Ana. Gets slept
Aw.
up and finished off. Whole team execution. But yeah, that's overtime starting as this fight goes on here. They can't get off this cart for a second now. Hudson managing to find Casey without that Zarya. It's putting Monarchy in a little bit of danger here, especially as the lamp goes down too. Fuji once again getting finished off, caught out by Kareem on that Brigitte. And one by one, the Monarchy players are falling. And it might have been a bit of a short hold on first point for Legion, but they're coming back in with a vengeance as the cart starts moving. And they're going to be stopping it right here.
Yeah, they definitely seem to not want to give any more progress. While that is certainly not far to push in second point, they still have to capture first point, which is not the easiest thing to do with only 2 minutes remaining. Hollywood first is a very slow, methodical point. There's oftentimes long rotations involved with it. Unless they just get a lucky pick and then they can just dive in. I think that's what happened last time, so who knows? Maybe they'll get lucky. Or outskill their opponents, as it
For
would.
sure. Tepper picking up too early there, I think just on that McCree, shooting down the Echo Mercy in the sky. Or Echo Mercy? I think it was? I'm not quite sure.
Echo and someone. There was definitely an
Echo and
Echo.
I want to say it was a Mercy, but I don't trust my memory enough for that. And it looks like once again Paris going over to that more standard composition. Maybe having finally retired that Bastion.
Yeah, I think the shock factor is now off, and the clunkiness of the giant Omnic is not exactly to their liking anymore. Certainly not to their advantage anymore. Otherwise, mostly the same thing we've been seeing from Legion. I don't blame them for sticking to this either. It's been working so far.
Running that double bubble definitely worked in their favor on the first point last time. So we'll see if they're able to pull it off once again. Take their first map win here on Hollywood. Yep, Legion. If Legion's able to take this first point, it will be not much further for them to push. But the first point is going to be an obstacle for them to break through here. Early cannon comes out. Hudson going in aggressively here. It's forcing the lamp out early, but Fuji finds Kartik in the backline. Forces that recall, but he's already got what he's wanted there. Backing out now, or heading back to safety.
Legion has enough time where they can afford a soft disengage, especially just losing their Echo like that. They're going to be back so quickly.
Yep, just fighting in that little server room for now. Not giving Legion this choke for free. Hudson once again jumps into the team. Manages to find Kageyama with the help of Swanky on that Zarya. The lamp's out in the backline. It's a false, but misled, flashbanged and headshot. Tracer's executed fairly easily. Fuji once again finding Kartik. There's no DPS available for the Legion here. And Stormgate manages to, once again, Swanky Pet's picking up the kills for his team. Picking up 3!
Swanky!
Swanky gets 4! Zarya coming through with that charge, melting down the Monarchy defense. You don't need DPS when you have a high charge Zarya. There's the grab as well, just to secure it.
Harkening back to the GOAT's days, I'm sure hit scan DPS can remember the good old days. And that's probably going to be first points. Monarchy's going to have to really buckle down here if they want to stop this 3-0.
Yeah, Monarchy has 30 seconds left on the clock. Monarchy needs a decisive fight here. And Pulse Bomb comes out, but the lamp is there to stop it from killing anyone. It's the nano.
Someone has to touch.
Someone has to touch. There's the grab at the last second on the point. But the team's falling as it goes on. And that's the Legion finishing out the point and the series.
Despite it being a 3-0, Monarchy definitely played very close on pretty much every single map there, especially Hollywood. They really felt the pressure and almost came out with a win, in all honesty.
Yes, that one was really close. It was this play that made the difference.
Yeah.
Funky is absolutely popping off. 80 charge and just melting down Monarchy here.
Yeah, there's not much a good Zarya can't do, especially when on 100 charge like that. Basically free reign of whatever she wants.
Yep. Clutching out that fight. And who do you think is our player of the match for tonight? I have a couple ideas on who it could be, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Personally, I'd have to give it to Swanky. They weren't always the flashiest, granted they were on that last play in Hollywood, but they were very consistent the entire time and just a menace to Monarchy the entire series.
Yep. Swanky, definitely I can agree. popping off that whole series. Really solid Zarya play, huge Gravitons coming out as well. I want to give a shout out though to Omega. There's great anti-nades coming out, especially on Rialto. A couple of times, that's what broke the Bastion bunker a couple times, just hitting those huge 4-man antis. But that
Oh,
Zarya
definitely.
play, securing them Hollywood there, I think we have to give it to Swanky.
Yeah, definitely. Not to understate the rest of Meow Legion's players, however, all of them did considerably well, and at varying points. But it's hard to pass up a high charge Zarya. And
Oh.
speaking of which,
What is going on?
Hello,
Welcome.
Swanky, or Coop, as your Discord name says.
Either or, it don't matter.
You are our player of the match for tonight. How are you feeling after that 3-0 victory against the Monarchy?
Good. Could have done better. We probably shouldn't have sandbagged on Hollywood, but it is what it is. Shout out to my homie Storm Gig. I love him. He's my number 3 fan.
Number 3 fan?
Yeah. Then also, is there like a thing like a shout out? I want to give an shout out to Ben for being British. Anyways.
Anti-vouch Ben is British. As as you're doing those shoutouts, is there anyone else you think really popped off tonight?
Hudson. That man like went 8 mode on the monkey. I'm not sure. Y'all saw on Rialto. Our defense, like 3 of us got grabbed, right?
Yep.
This man came in with like the perfect bubble to just block the high noon and saved us all.
I did see that. That was perfect timing. It was actually really impressive to watch.
Yeah, you
Hudson is a good man.
Definitely.
Everybody on Rome did better. Everyone on Rome did great. I don't know how to say words. Everyone on Rome did great. I love them all. But yeah, Hudson really did show up today.
You guys definitely looked rather coordinated. And speaking of coordination, I have to ask about a particular play, the Junkrat teleporting tire on Lijiang Tower Control Center. Was that planned, or was that just like, hey, let's do this?
Oh yeah, no, that was planned. I think we had it happen to us like in a scrim, like we got rolled by it, so we're like, hey, we should just use that, and we've just been using it, and like it's a 4-to-1 ratio. We either like we roll with it 4 times, and then there's that one time we get nothing out of it. But yeah.
I mean, hey, that's definitely not a bad ratio for a junk tire.
Yeah, it's a thing that like not a lot of people know. Like I didn't even know you could teleport Rip Tire, and I've been playing this game for like 5 years.
Yeah, right. We didn't know when we were casting.
You guys have your next match in altitude tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's Shanghai though, so.
All right. Well, good luck there, and hope you're able to keep up this momentum coming off a good victory like this.
Yeah. I just wanted to say a couple last words real quick. Meow.
The signature motto of the Meow Legion, I am sure, or Meow Legion :3 as their full name. They claim their full name to be. Yep. Thank you for interviewing with us, and we can send you back to your team.
Yeah, thank you. Send me back to the boys.
I just realized I can't actually do that here, but there you go. Yep. Thank you all for watching us tonight here at the Owlet tournament. I've been CopiousGibles, and with me is Acrinator, Joey on production. Thank you all for watching, and hope you have a good evening.
See ya.